Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Out and about again today on a bit of a ride on the new R1300GS. Thought I'd bring you along with me. So folks, welcome along to the channel. It's a bit of a murky, miserable old day out today, but not raining too much, just a bit of drizzle in the air, and I thought I'd come out for a ride on the new R1300GS, and I thought I'd bring you with me. Just for a bit of vloggishness. Nothing in particular to talk about, just a bit of a rambly thing. So don't expect too much from this video. Just thought I'd come out and have a ride on this bike as I can. A few bits and pieces to update you with. And as I've got a free afternoon, I thought it would be nice just to come out and do 100 miles on the big beast, as you do. Must say, I am really enjoying riding this machine, no matter what you think of the looks of it. If you ride one, you cannot deny it's not a good thing to ride. It's absolutely an amazing bike. And it's growing on me. Behind, come on then. A little bit wet for that caper, but can't be hanging around all day, can you? And then straight into 30. Right, let's go down this way. So how are you? Are you well? You managed to get out on your bike much? I hope so. It's not been great, has it, this winter for biking? Seldom a winter's great for biking in Blighty, but we've seemed to have had an awful lot of rain. I mean, the good news is we haven't had that much really cold weather, so we've not had ice, which absolutely stops me going out on the bike, and nor have we had much in the way of gritters out. And because we've had so much rain, it does mean all the salt has been washed off the roads, which is great news if you care about looking after your bike, and I'm sure if you're watching this channel you probably do, because I certainly care about looking after my bikes. But on that very subject, one thing I was going to mention, this bike that I've got, I've been very jammy, very fortunate to borrow from BMW UK for a long term, and by long term I mean months, at least 6 months, possibly longer, depending on how I get on with it. And if it were my brand new GS, I'd be very anal about going out in scuddy weather like this, because as soon as I got home I'd have to clean it. But of course, when there's no salt on the roads, it's not so critical, because it's just a bit of dirt. It's not going to do the bike actually any harm. And taking a leaf out of Bruce's Teapot One's book, he virtually never cleans his bikes, and they're always fine when he does get them cleaned. So basically I haven't cleaned this bike since I've had it, which I have to say feels like absolute freedom. It feels somehow naughty, but I love it, because what it means is it doesn't stop me going out on the bike. I'm a very fortunate person in that I've got a number of bikes. I've got 6 of my own bikes in the garage, plus this one. So I can choose any bike I like. And what I normally do is try and rotate the bikes that I ride, so in the winter. So what I would do is go out on one bike for a week or two, then give it a good wash, put it away, then go out on the next bike for a week or two, give it a good wash, put it away, and so on through my bike, so that they each get a run on a regular basis. And I'm not getting them all dirty at the same time. I just have to clean one bike at the end of its sort of tenure, if that makes sense. Whereas with this, because I'm using it as my day-to-day ride, I'm not really riding my own bikes at all, I'm just riding this, I'm just not bothering to clean it. I mean, I will do when the salt comes out, and I might even ACF 50 it, because I'm not going to be irresponsible about it. It is a lovely bike, and just because it's not mine doesn't mean to say I shouldn't look after it. But all I'm saying is, it is a breath of fresh air. It feels like freedom, not worrying about cleaning the bike every time I come out in scuddy weather. This is a lovely little town I'm just riding through. This is called West Wickham. It is blighted by the fact that it's got Wickham in its name, because High Wycombe, which isn't very far away, to the east of it, surprisingly enough, is not renowned for it being a picturesque place. But come out on, I think this is the A40 technically, come out 5 miles to the west and you get this lovely little place, and some beautiful countryside and some nice riding as well as you head up out towards Oxfordshire. In fact, Oxford Road look is what this is. And as I'm doing today, up towards Headley Way, there's some lovely rides all around there. Some of my favourite sort of summer riding roads. Oops, at 50 here, slow down a bit. And I haven't yet done them on the new GS, so I thought I should give them a whirl. As I mentioned, this bike is so good for riding. It's so comfy. This one at the moment, it's got the standard seat on it. I have asked BMW UK if I can get the lower seat, just because I'm a bit too much on tippy toe for my liking. Sadly, this bike doesn't have the auto ride height feature, which I think would be absolutely brilliant to have. But the long-term demo bikes don't have that. They've got that on their press short-term loan bikes, and they said that I could borrow one of those in due course, so I can see what that's like. So definitely going to do that. But the one I've got for long-term use doesn't have that, so I'm going to get myself a lower seat so I can just get my feet hopefully planted on the floor a bit better, so I'll feel a little bit more confident on it when I come to a stop, and then I want to get out and try the bike with Mrs. Flyer on the back. I hate going out with a pillion on a bike where I don't feel completely confident about keeping the thing upright. So I'll let you know what the lowered seat is like on this, as well as what that auto ride height feature is like in due course. This little place up here on the left here is called the something or other Roadhouse. Never been here, but I must go there in the summer. Now, the Dashwood Roadhouse, look. I think every now and then they might even have bike meetups there. I'm tempted to tap them up and see if they want to do a TMF meetup, because it'd be quite a good place to do one. Right. I want to overtake, but I want to obviously make sure it's completely clear, nothing behind. Here we go. I'm only in road mode because it is damp on the road. But one of the things I have noticed about this bike is that actually changing the modes makes a big difference on it. When you go into Dynamic or Dynamic Pro, the thing absolutely flies. And normally since I've had the bike, I've had just set in Dynamic and been riding it like that, and then when it gets damp I put it in road. It does have wet and everything else, of course, which you could put it in, but even in bog standard road riding, it's still got loads to go. And compared to my 1200, it's a particularly peppy bike. Bloody love it. Oh, look at that up ahead. Some blue sky. Haven't seen much of that late. Oh, 40 mile an hour limit. Let's come back down. There we go. Keep it calm, Andy. Keep it calm. This bike now does encourage you a bit to ride a bit more hooligan. It's the Hooligan GS. Who thought that would ever be a thing? Just give you a bit of a clean. There's a little bit of rain in the air. Hopefully you can see okay. Still using the Osmo Action 4 over the GoPros. I've still got my GoPros, but I haven't used them since I bought this little camera. I have to say this camera is so much better in every way as a vlogger to use. So I'm going to stick with it. The sound isn't as good as the GoPro in terms of clarity and volume of my voice, and how the GoPros capture the engine on the bike as well. This very much isolates my voice over the background noise. You hopefully can hear the bike a bit. Here we go, into national, so I can wind her back up to 60. And also it is a little bit more thin sounding. The GoPro had a much more bassy note to it. If you listen to some of my previous videos on the GoPro, I think you'll agree that my voice sounds better on them, but it might be down to the mic I'm using as well, so I might try a more expensive mic. I'm using a Rode mic, lavalier mic on here. Might have to splash out and get something a bit more fancy. Anyway, I am waiting for a mic adapter to come from DJI, who make this camera. I'm hoping that might make the sound a little bit better in terms of its quality. In the meantime, apologies if it's a bit thin sounding. Hello again, it's me. I was riding along just thinking about how good that camera is, and then it inexplicably stopped. Anyway, I've stopped here in Stokenchurch at the green here. There's the bike. And I thought I'll just check the footage to make sure it's coming out all right. Seems like it is, but it looks a little bit jerky to me, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to try some different modes. So I've turned on something called horizon balancing. I'm now turning my head side to side at all sorts of angles, and it'll be interesting to see if indeed it does balance the horizon. I don't know what it'll be like riding the bike, but let's have a go with horizon balancing turned on. This bike can half go over a long way on its side stand. That's something that you have to get used to with the new GS. Right, let's bring this baby to life then. There we go, stand is up. Right, let's see what a bit of horizon balancing looks like then when you're on the move with this puppy. Oh my, look at this. This is pretty horrible, isn't it? Oh well, off-road on the new GS, how about it? There we go. Thank goodness I'm not worried about my bike getting dirty, because this is horrible. Ugh. Thank goodness I'm all ruckered up. I'm going to have to stand up, it's slippery. Whew. Oh well, there we go. Don't say I never go off-road on the bike. Right, it's all clear. Sadly, this time of year we don't get a lot of light. The sun is already going down, which is a shame, might curtail my ride slightly. It's so rare these days that I just come out for a ride for the sake of it, which is exactly what I'm doing today, just to enjoy the ride. And there aren't many bikes that I actually do that on. Hello, sir. And this has been the first bike for a long while that I've been tempted just to come out for a ride, just for the heck of it. So again, shows how good this new GS is, I think. Horrible moment there, I thought speed camera just flashed at me. Oops. There used to be a speed camera down here, but it's I hope it's been taken away, otherwise I just got done. Because I forgot that was the 30 limit and I was doing about 35. Bother. I hope that's not the case. Where shall I go? Let's go down this way. Quite a lot of traffic out on the roads today. I don't know why. I'm recording this on it's actually a Friday afternoon. And it's remarkably busy. So, there we go. That's horizon balancing mode. All very exciting, I'm sure. Oh crikey, look at Stoke-on-Church mast. They've taken even more of the transmitters and stuff off the top. There's now virtually nothing on the top there. I guess the internet has paid to actually old-fashioned radio. Look, there's a couple of small antennas on the top, but there used to be all sorts of horns and dishes and all sorts up there. Pretty much redundant now. Anyway, enough of that. There's some parking up here. I'm going to pull in. I'm going to set the camera back to its normal rock steady mode, so I can do a little comparison with what that looked like. And look, we're in Oxfordshire now. Brilliant. Alright, so I've checked the footage on horizon balancing and it actually looked like it came out alright. So now I've changed it to another mode called Rock Steady Plus. I'll only do this for a short period of time because I suspect it's going to be nice and steady, but it'll probably be a very restricted field of view. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'll just leave it running for a little bit. I know you're probably not interested in this stuff, by the way, but I've got to test out this camera and just see what the various modes do. So this is what they call Rock Steady Plus. How does it look? Can you see much of the bike ahead? Can you see much of the road? I don't know. Lovely sets of corners. I like doing these the other way up, but actually better because you've got a bit more room. As you can see on the other side of the road, you've actually got 2 lanes on the carriageway, which means you've got a bit more wiggle room. It makes it a bit more fun. Bit of gravel on the roads here. Oh, it's so nice to be out on the bike. I don't know about you, but I just I find it therapy for the soul, you know. It's been a bit of a tough time at home of late, actually. I won't go into details why, but it's been quite stressful. And it's just nice to come out on the bike just to relax and just sort of decompress. And I know a lot of people use bikes for the same reason. I do the same thing with flying, actually. This time of year it's quite difficult for me to go flying because, again, there's not a lot of light, so by the time you've got the airplane ready, it's time to put the thing away. And if it's again icy or frosty, that adds another level of danger to flying, and de-icing a plane and then flying again is just an awful lot of effort. So I tend not to fly much in the winter. I tend to fly, you know, just a fair weather pilot. And again, light riding, I use that as a de-stressor. Of course, in the winter, as I say, not so much available, whereas the bike, you can just roll it out of the garage, jump on and off you go, particularly if you're not bothered about cleaning it at the end of it. Right, Right, I'm just wondering where to go here, whether to go straight on or do a left. I'll do a left towards Watlington, I think. So yeah, it doesn't take long, does it? But, you know, hours ride on the bike and all is well with the world. Get out here quick. All straight into the sun. So yeah, I know my mate Bruce Teapot 1 uses his bike as therapy. I'm sure there's many others that do too. Lucky for me, I'm not somebody that suffers from any particular mental disabilities, if that's the right word. I don't suffer from depression or anything like that, but you know, we all get times when you just need to get away from the day-to-day, don't you? Certainly, you know, if you're looking after elderly parents or people that are ill, or maybe you've got young kids or whatever, or teenagers, all those things can be quite stressful, can't they? I know, because I've had to try all those. So if you are in that boat, best wishes to you. If you've got the chance, get out on the bike. It does you a lot of good. Love these sort of sweepy roads, beautiful. Better in the dry, of course, and better when there's not traffic on, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm just glad to be out on the bike at all this time of year. Alright, so that's me trying rock steady mode. I think what I'll do, when I get a chance, I'll stop again and I'll set the camera back up into normal mode, which is just, I think, on the Osmo Action 4, just called Steady, or Rock Steady. This is Rock Steady Plus. I'm going to put it back onto Rock Steady. Right, let's do that as soon as I can find somewhere to stop. Okay, so welcome back. I've just stopped and changed the camera back to my default setting, which is this just called Rock Steady mode on the Osmo Action 4, which is I think is my sort of default mode. We'll see how it goes, and over time we'll see which we prefer. Let me know in the comments below if there's any of those you particularly prefer, either the Horizon level mode or Rock Steady Plus. I know, you know, this is about motorcycles, not about cameras, but do value your feedback on how you find the different camera qualities, etc. Alright, we're into Watlington now, just in case you're wondering where I'm riding. I think technically Oxfordshire. Sun's getting pretty low. Still very happy to be out on the bike. 20 miles an hour. It's almost impossible, isn't it, to ride at 20 miles an hour. Let's get the cruise control on again, see if we'll do it this low. There we go, look. 21 miles an hour, got the cruise control on. It's stopping because of these cars in front. It's going down. Is it going to brake for me? No. Look, it says cruise control deactivated. It deactivated at around about, I don't know, what was it, about 10, 12 miles an hour, something like that. So it obviously goes down as slow as that. So that's pretty useful. So if you were doing like a tour in Wales or something, you could set her up to 20 miles an hour, and you could go through the built up areas like this one without busting the limit. This is a beautiful little town as well, isn't it? And this light, this is almost golden hour like now, isn't it? Beautiful. I hope I get enough light to head back home, because there are some nice roads when I start heading east again and we don't have the sun in our eyes. So I'll speak to you then, when that really bright sun, that I'm really not complaining about, isn't right in our faces as it is now. Right, welcome back. Couple of good things have happened. One, I'm now in a national speed limit area, and two, I've changed slightly so the sun is now off to the right and not blinding us. And we're on some nice roads now. I'm often complaining that the roads in the southeast are rubbish, and they are around where I live in Buckinghamshire, but you don't have to come out too far into Oxfordshire and towards the sort of Henley area to get some of these nice sweepy roads. I really need to make more of these. First came across these when I was out riding with Mrs. Flyer, just to give her some experience of slightly longer rides. And yeah, I really love this particular road, and the roads back towards Henley and Marlow are really nice. So this has now become one of my sort of go-to circuits, of which I've got a number locally. I'm sure you do the same, but I've got like a half an hour ride, an hour ride, an hour and a half ride, and so on. So if I've got a bit of time free and I know how much time I've got, I can slot the ride in accordingly. So about that, camera cut out again. This time I noticed before it cut out, it made some bleeping noises as if it was in a countdown to cutting out. Now it's not that the battery's running out, I've got loads of battery power. Maybe when you turn it on using your voice or something, there's I don't know, some sort of time limit. I don't know. That's weird, isn't it? Or perhaps it's a standby setting I need to change. If you've got one of these and you know why it's doing that, do let me know. If Dave from Really Good TV's watching, he'll know. Why is my camera counting down and turning off when I'm in mid-record? There's probably a setting somewhere I've got to sort out. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, that new Suzuki. Is it called the GT? I can't remember. Anyway, you'll probably know the bike I mean. Looking forward to having a go on that. Love to have a go on the new Triumph Daytona as well, just announced this month, or last month was it? Depending on when I put this video up. That's going to be well worth a go. And there are other bikes out there as well that I'm very much looking forward to riding. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular you'd like to see me have a go on. I'm lucky enough now that the channel's reached sort of big enough numbers that I can usually get hold of a new bike from a dealer or a manufacturer. Quite lucky like that. Oh, let's just overtake for no other reason than I can. It's not going to really do me any good because there's plenty of traffic up here, but it's just nice to wind this beast up a little bit. It's 9 degrees centigrade out there. I haven't got my heated jacket or anything on. I've not worked out, I haven't looked close enough on the bike to see if it's got one of those high power sockets that I can plug my heated kit into. Certainly the old GS did, so I'll be very surprised if this hasn't. It's certainly got USB ports knocking around, but I need something with a bit more poke to plug my kit into, so I need to check out the instruction manual or speak to Bruce and find out where that is. He'll know. I have to say, I've downloaded the PDF of the instruction manual for this bike, and it's not that easy to follow. I know that's ridiculous. Let's face it, who reads instruction manuals? I try. Well, you know, I'm like any bloke. I don't tend to read instruction manuals very much. This place is called Bix. Look, B-I-X. Strange name, isn't it, for a place? Anyway, so yeah. So the instruction manual, when I have had to look things up, is finding some of the features and functions on this bike. For example, finding how you get the fuel gauge up took me a bit of doing. In fact, Bruce did come to my rescue and told me on that one, so thank you, Bruce, for that. I knew it'd be in there somewhere, and it was dead easy. Basically, you just hit the menu button up a few times and bingo, there it is. But yeah, so I struggled to find that a bit, and I couldn't even find in the manual anything about the fuel gauge. So one thing I have found a bit rubbish with the new bike is the manual's a little bit difficult to follow. And I'm not saying that as somebody who's a complete numpty. I've got a flipping honours degree in computer science, so you'd think I'll be alright, wouldn't you? Controlling one of these things, but it's not that intuitive. That's one of my major criticisms of the new bike, actually. Some of the features and functions, you have to dig quite deep into the menus, and that's annoying. But if you're like me, once you've got the bike set up, you seldom change anything, so it probably doesn't matter that much. So I've got, you know, the thing that annoys me mostly is the fact that it hasn't got a heated grips button. You have to go into the menus, but I've got that via the hamburger set up on these little buttons here, so that's not actually that hard. Same for the heated seat. But if you want to start digging into more complex stuff, actually this is my chance to overtake, isn't it? The last chance before I'm out of dual carriageway. Got the feeling this driver in the Suzuki is going to be slow. Yeah, so once you've got the electronics set up as you want, then you kind of leave it anyway, so it's maybe not a big deal, not as much of a big deal as I make out, but yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about the bike, for sure. One of the more important things. I mean, the really important thing, of course, is about how the bike rides, isn't it, and how it makes you feel, and all that, and there's no doubt it's brilliant at that. Quickly nip by here while I've got a chance. Bit naughty on the old hatches, but they are broken lines on hatches, you are allowed to. And then I'm straight into a 40 anyway, so a bit pointless, but you know what it's like, you get impatient. Set that cruise control up at 40-ish, there we go. Gives me a chance also to rest my arm. I must say thanks to everybody that's inquired about how my arm is going after surgery. If you watch the channel regularly, you may have heard me mention that I've had surgery on my arm recently. It's actually, when I'm recording this, I think it's 4.5 weeks since I had a bit of my shoulder blade taken out, a bit of my collarbone removed. We're going down to 30 now, look. Set it there. There we go, set at 30. And the top of the joint of my shoulder bone, the humerus, you know, the ball joint in the shoulder, that was shaved and some other bits and pieces done while the surgeon was in there. And I have to say, it's taking a very long time to recover. Oh look, a speed camera, so that's where this is good. So that is where the old cruise control comes in good, because it means I can take my right arm off that handlebar and just give my arm a bit of a shake, because I have to say, oh look, bike's saying 30, that's saying 29, so it gives you an indication of how that's set. But yeah, I have to say my arm is giving me an awful lot of jip, and it's going to be interesting to see how I do on much longer rides on this bike, whether I'm going to be able to tour on it. I think I am going to, because you can rest the arm, as I just said, in that way. Let's go this way. That's the 30 again. Let's set up that cruise control so we're not doing anything outrageous without me thinking about it. Yeah, and although the GS is undeniably a comfortable place to sit, the handlebars are quite wide and fairly high-ish, and it's in a position that this new operated on arm doesn't like that much. So although most people with normal arms will find this a very comfortable place to be, I find it is a little bit of a stress position for my arm at the moment. I'm hoping that's going to recover. Well, I can go to 40 now. And that in the next few months I'll be able to sit on this bike quite comfortably and not have to worry about giving the old arm a wiggle. But at the moment it's uncomfortable. I actually find my Honda Goldwing more comfortable riding position than the GS, because the bars on that are a little bit more close to your knees. So that's a better option for me at the moment for touring. And of course the Goldwing has a very useful reverse mode, which means there's no point when I have to get off the bike and manhandle it backwards. I can do it all on the bike using the reverse gear. So if you're getting old or infirm and basically a wimp like me, gosh, I'm only 55, what is going on? Then actually the Goldwing, surprisingly for such a big old bike, actually suits me slightly better than the GS. But once I get the low seat and I can move this thing around, sat on it and using my legs, then that'll become easier. At the moment, if I need it shifted around on gravel or whatever, I have to get Mrs. Fly to give me a push. So that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Call yourself a man. Ridiculous. Right, back into Buckinghamshire, and this road now back follows the River Thames, which is on my right, although you never get to see it, or if you do, it's fleeting glimpses. This is the lovely road back down from Henley to Marlow, one of my favourites. Probably about 30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe max ride home here from here, so hopefully I'll make it in the light. Not that it really matters if I don't, because actually, as much as I don't like the look of the light on the new GS, I have to say, in practice, riding it in the dark, it chucks out an awful lot of light. It's a really good light. Right, I haven't noticed any speed limit change signs, but I assume as there's no street lights, this is a national speed limit area. So I ain't going to poodle through at 30 if I don't have to. Again, an absolutely stunning part of the world around here. It's super expensive. If you want to come and live in Henley, well, you better be a millionaire, or you probably ain't going to get much for your money. But it's nice to visit, isn't it, and see how the other half live. Oh look, there's a glimpse of the River Thames just there. That's about all you're going to see of it on this ride. So there we are. I've rambled on for flipping ages about nothing in particular. So thank you for watching the video. If you've stuck with it for this long, then thank you very much indeed for watching. I like to do these occasional rambling vlogs. I do wonder whether sometimes whether vlogs are no longer a thing or whether they're valid, and then I do a sort of a rambly vlog and I don't necessarily get great views, but I usually get quite good comments, so that's good. Thank you for that if you're one of those people. And I've got a lot of people that comment regularly on my videos. I recognise the names, you know who you are, and it's great to always receive your comments as well, so thank you guys and gals, of which there are a few that regularly comment, so thank you very much. Oh, back into nationals, excellent. Try not to get too carried away. Because this boxer engine is a kind of lazy ride, you forget that it gets up to speed very quickly now. You can get carried away quite quickly. What a fabulous thing to ride this is. Anyway, so there we go, that's pretty much it for this rambling video. Hope you enjoyed it. Looking behind, let's quickly nip by him. And into a 40. And if you did, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make some more videos like this in future. Anyway, that's it for now. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until next time, this has been the Missing and Flyer. Cheerio.
Hey kids, we're the Missing and Flyers.